One of the hardest things about running a company when you are just a kid in most people's eyes and when you're very young and you still look young, I've grown a beard now, but I didn't have one before, is building trust and getting people to actually look up at you, right? To not have this dynamic where they think they're just so much better than you and they're running the call, they're telling you, show me how this works, and just, like, has someone ever said that to you? Has someone ever said to you, just stop asking me the question, show me how this works, or what's the price? I don't want to talk about this stuff. Has anyone ever said that to you? Well, if they have, it means that they don't respect you. I want to share some tactics that I use myself to get big whale clients. Like I'm talking 7, 8, 9-figure companies, CEOs, decision makers to actually listen and respect me on calls. And I've actually used these tactics with the people that I partner with who are way younger than me, and they have people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars listen to them even while they literally still look and sound like a kid, simply due to these small little tactics that they use. So we're going to cover a few of them, a few tactics. The last one's obviously most important, so stick around. But the first one is this. It's called damaging admissions. And what a damaging admission is where you admit a flaw about you. You admit something bad about you and follow that up with it being a good thing, right? For example, like, hey, I know I'm super young and most people you hop on calls with are way older than me and way more experienced, but that's a good thing because I'm actually raised in the generation where everyone is online, and so I get the online social media game better than anyone else who's been doing this for years because they aren't currently consumed in it and didn't grow up with it. That's an example, right, of a damaging mission. Yes, I'm young, but this thing, right? Like, yes, we're not the biggest company. Yes, we don't have the most clients, but that means that instead of just handing you off to a shitty rep that you never get to talk to and only get a few emails with, you actually get to work with us one-on-one and chat with me, the founder, every single day to fix any problems that may come up. You see how, once again, you use a bad thing to insinuate a good thing. And what this does is this makes the prospect view you on a more even playing field. So like, oh, okay, yes, there's this bad thing, but that is followed up with a good thing. And this will get people to not only respect you more, but also trust you a lot more. And when someone trusts you, they respect you and they listen to you and they're open to having a conversation with you. Now, the second one, this is a very, very deep, dark psychological tactic you can use to instantly get the upper hand, especially on sales calls with prospects who are very pushy, who are like, hey, I just want to get to the point, just cut to it, like, who are trying to kind of boss you around. Very, very subtle tactic, works incredibly well. What you do, you say, yeah, for sure. Right, whenever doing this, cool question for you. I guess, how many clients are you guys currently closing? And what when you ask that question, right, or if you ask them, hey, how many clients are you closing? How much money do you make? People will almost always give it in a monthly or a yearly number. Why? 2 reasons. Number one, it's the most commonly talked about monthly or yearly revenue. And number two, it's always going to be bigger than giving you a bi-weekly, a weekly, or a daily amount. And so what you do, and you have to make sure you time it right, otherwise you sound like an idiot, is when they give you the answer, the second they say a number, you can almost always get away with saying per week, right? And so what you do is someone's like, hey, so I guess how much you make right now? 10K per week? Oh, no, a month. And then you do is go, okay, gotcha. And you play it off as if everyone you talk to is making way more than that, and you're used to people making way more than that. What that will subtly do is plant a seed of doubt in the prospect's mind that they're not as good as they thought they were. Because most people they talk to, and they say, oh, I make 10K a month, whatever the case is, or go, wow, that's amazing, good on you, that's really good, you guys are doing great, I get, and the salesperson starts to suck up to the prospect, right, to try and be like, oh my goodness, you're a big whale client, and acknowledge that. Right? What you do is you play it off as if it's nothing, right? But you have to really sell it. You can't half do it, right? You can't have to. You have to own it. It's like I was at the store the other day, and I was trying on a hat. I was at the counter paying for. I was buying some ammunition and some cleaning stuff for my gun, and there was a really nice hat there that was nice green, and I put it on. I look in the mirror, and it just wasn't my type of hat. Like I'm very, very peculiar with the kind of hats that I wear. As you can see, I've got 2 here, and I've got like 80 more downstairs, and I only like a couple of them, which is why you see me wear the same ones all the time. I tried it on, and I was like, no, that's not it. I put it back in the bin. He goes, not that one? I go, no. He goes, yeah, it's a shame we had to put all those hats on sale. Someone had, lice in here. And I didn't even catch on. I was just like, oh, yeah. And then The guy beside him started laughing, and I was like, wait a minute. And I looked at him, and I started laughing too because I knew it was a joke. And he's like, oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe how many people start freaking out when I say that. I was like, dude, I didn't even get it at first. Anyways, the point is you have to sell it like he did. He didn't like half do it. He went all in on the joke and sold it like he really, really, really meant it. And that's the reason why it worked. And so it's the same here. You can't wait for them to say, like, oh, I do 10K a month. You go a week? Like, no, they just said a month. Right? You can't say, a week? No, you have to sell it. Yes, I make about 10K a week. Right? You got to like interrupt and cut them off and be like, a week? And then when they say no, you're like, okay, yeah, gotcha. No worries. Right? You say no worries too subtle, like, okay, that's not too big of a deal. Right? Like, okay, we can work with that. It's getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Yeah, okay, we might be able to work with that then. 10K a month. Yeah, that might work. Now they're thinking, what the fuck? What kind of companies does this guy work with, right? This is some deep psychology that can work really, really well to just ruin your prospect, right? Just absolutely ruin them. Another way is to tell them that they don't need you. Now, I'll show you how this works and I'll tell you why it works. So what you do is you say to them, listen, man, you're doing great. I don't think you need any help. Right? Why don't you just keep doing what you're doing? And what they'll do is they will actually go ahead and tell you why they want to work with you, why they're looking to buy something. Right? Because everyone that's on a call is there for a reason. And a lot of times people have a lot of trouble getting that out of the prospect, especially when you're way younger and you have a big well of clients, right? What you just say to them is you say, hey man, listen, it sounds like you guys are doing great. You're making a ton of money. You're probably better off just doing what you're doing. Why not just double down? Right? And you almost played off as like, hey man, I don't even think we could probably help you, right? Like, I guess why not just keep doing what you're doing? It sounds like it's working well. It'll probably get you to 10 mil anyway, right? And then what they'll do is they'll go, yeah, I thought that too, and then they'll start sharing some problems. Yeah, but we've been having some problems with this and this and this, and that's kind of, so you're dealing with that, and that's kind of stopping you from getting there. Yeah. Gotcha. I guess how long is that being kind of going on, right? And then you can continue on with your discovery. But now, once again, you've reclaimed that power dynamic by being detached from the sale and not giving a fuck. A lot of people care too much, and that's why they have so much problem on the call because they're super overinvested. And they're sitting there like this, like, hey, Mr. Prospect, how's your day going, right? If you really want to get respect and establish trust on the call, you have to make the prospect feel, okay, let me word this right. You have to make them feel like you don't care as much as everyone else. Because you can't make them feel like you don't care at all, because then they won't buy from you because they're not going to believe that you care about solving their problem. But if you care like everyone else does, and you're like, oh yeah, how's that going? And you're really sitting up here really overly invested, people can sense that and they feel like you need them. They don't need you. And people don't want to buy from people they feel need them. They want to buy from people they feel they need. Right? That's how it works. And so literally a couple hacks you could do it. Like I said, this whole video of hacks is you can sit back a bit, right? Lean back a little bit, be a bit more chill, right? Like, hey man, what's up? Right? Be a bit more chill. Have a bit of a lower voice, right? This whole time I've been really excited talking like this. Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, good. What are we on this call for? Right? Like super chill, super mellow, super nonchalant, laid back, casual, right? Not taking it too seriously, not caring too much, not trying to be too perfect, right? People in this day and age are too perfect. They try and let me wear this dress suit and let me, talk this certain way and act this certain way and have this certain personality. And they put on a mask of someone that's not really them. And people have a really good sense for kind of smelling that stuff out. And people start to notice that and they don't like that. And so being a bit more chill, a bit more casual, a bit more nonchalant, right? A bit slower, a bit calm, a bit mellow, right? That really helps a lot, especially with prospects who make a lot of money. They don't want some guy who they feel they're better than. They want to buy from someone they feel is better than them. And in order to do that, you have to pretend like the prospect isn't that big of a deal. Right, which brings us to the next point, mindset. If you have the mindset of, I have to close this deal, this is my only call, I don't have any more calls, this is a huge client, I need to close this, you're going to have a really hard time in business, especially closing the client, because you've already in your mind created the dynamic that they are better than you, and you have a scarcity mindset of, I need to close this guy. What you need to do is have an abundance mindset. This guy's here because he has a problem. He is lucky if he gets to work with me to solve this problem. I get to help him. Right? I'm doing him more of a favor than he's doing me. right? And a really good way to even really solidify this is, let me ask you a question. Of the clients you've ever sold, are they still benefiting from your service? Like if a client buys from you today, a year from now, are they still benefiting from your service? Whether they pay you or don't pay you. For most people, yes, right? It's like, yes, the client now has better ads. They made more money, whatever the case is. Cool. The money that client paid you a year ago, what happened with it? Well, you probably already spent it. So you're telling me that people pay you, you just spend the money, it goes away, and you never see it again, and they still get to continue to get rewards from that a year later? So who really wins? The client, right? And so if you understand that and have that mindset shift in your head, you won't feel so bad, I guess, on the sales call, because you're like, wow, this guy benefits way more from the service than I do from the little amount of money he pays me. And that can give you a huge, huge mindset shift, a huge paradigm shift in your head to hop on the call and view and being a bit more of an abundant source, right? Of like, hey, I don't care if I close this deal or not, because I'm doing the prospect a favor more than they would be doing me a favor buying. And so therefore, if they don't buy it, it sucks to be them kind of thing. And so that is another, psychological trick you can use to, once again, get respect, get trust on the sales calls, especially with high ticket clients that you have problems talking to. Okay. And it really comes down to your mindset, right? I've seen 15-year-old kids close, multi 6, 7, and 8 figure entrepreneurs. Why? Because they didn't view them as, some god. They just view them as another person who's there with a problem. At the end of the day, when you guys are sitting there on the sales call, you're there helping someone who has a problem, right? Like it's like when, it's like if you're a billionaire and you go to the doctor. Do you think that billionaire looks at the doctor as, aha, you little stupid peasant, you know nothing? No, the billionaire's probably going, dude, you know so much more about this than me, please help me, right? And the doctor probably isn't scared, like, what do I tell him? He makes more money than me, so what do I say? It's like, no. He's here because he has a problem with his health. I solve problems with health. Now, if we're talking about money, different situation. There'd be a different dynamic. But the doctor's good at that for a reason, right? And this guy's not good at that for a reason. Simple as that. So when your prospect shopping on the call with you, it doesn't matter if they're a billionaire, a trillionaire, or a homeless. It doesn't matter. They're coming there because they have a problem and you have the solution. And so there's no reason to feel unconfident. There's no reason to be scared. There's no reason to look up at the prospect and go, oh my goodness, look how scary. Like, no. It's like they're coming to you because they need help. The same way that anyone would go to a doctor, right? And do you think your doctor looks down at you? No. Do you look up at your, do you look down at your doctor? No. Right? Think about that. When you're going to the doctor, do you look down at your doctor? No. If anything, you're like, damn, this guy's helping me. That's how your prospect view on the sales call is, wow, this guy's helping me. Okay? So there's some deep, dark psychological tricks you can use to get people to trust and respect you on sales calls, especially big whale clients if you are young. Use this at your own discretion for good, not for evil. Let me put that disclaimer there. Don't use it for bad things. Use it for good things only so you can make a positive impact in this world.